So on today's quick video, I'm going to be telling you guys about one of my favorite entry signals, which helps me to confirm whether or not I'm going to enter into a trade. Now, in my last couple of videos, I've been talking a lot about the distinction between entry confirmations and entry signals because both are needed in order to have more successful trades. So when I'm looking for confirmations, I'm looking for things that say, okay, yes, this market looks like it's going to sell, or this market looks like it's going to buy. But when I'm looking for my entry signal, this is the thing that tells me, okay, it's actually time to get into this trade. So one of my favorite entry signals that I like to use comes from the Stochastic Oscillator, which is this beautiful indicator I have at the bottom of my screen with these two lines. If you want to learn more information about the stochastic, I actually have a learn more about the stochastic in 5-minute videos, and I have a more extended video that you can find under my Forex playlist as well. So that's going to be another reason why you want to subscribe, because I'm always dropping more insightful content, and I'm trying to go in depth and to revisit things that I've already covered to give you a fuller picture and understanding of what I see and how I trade when I'm trading in this market. So on the stochastic, as you'll notice down here, the stochastic, and I'll just zoom in, right? I'm going to zoom into the stochastic. This is what the stochastic looks like close up. It's made up of a blue line and it's made up of an orange line. Now, when I'm looking at this, I like to simplify things for myself. I say that the blue line is for my buyers because that's another color that's typically associated with buying aside from green. And I like to say that my orange represents my sellers because they're typically represented by red, and in this case, orange. So the stochastic tells me a lot about what price is doing, but again, I like to simplify stuff. So when the market is within this shaded zone, right, I like to call that my safe zone, right? It is pretty much anything could happen. It can go up, it can go down, it can really go either way. Now, below the dotted line at the bottom, right down here, this entire area, this is called my oversold area. This means that price has gotten out of the safety of the comfort zone, and now there are so many sellers in the market that the buyers have no choice but to actually turn this market around. Now, one thing you need to note, just because the market is oversold does not mean that you're going to want to start buying automatically, and that's what today's entry signal is all about. You actually want to wait for it to cross back up into the safe zone if you were looking for a buy, because it gets a little crazy. It's a little uncharted territory because it could actually stay down there for a while. Now up here, it's pretty much the same thing. We have our safe zone. We have our 80% line. And once the market is above this line, it's letting us know that price is definitely overbought. There are way too many buyers in the market and price has to go back down, right? But the gag is it doesn't have to go back down right this second, but you'll know that the market is going to go down once it has actually crossed back down into our safe zone. So today's entry signal is going to be all about waiting for the cross down to feel more confident to take your trades, or the cross up, right, if you're looking for a buy. Now, what we're going to do right now is just go through and highlight some examples of the cross up or cross down, and we're going to see what actually took place when that happened. So the most recent cross down took place here, right? So I'm just going to put a vertical line there. Let me move it over a little bit so we can see. So I'm going to put a vertical line there so we can see that the cross down happened somewhere right here, right? Price was overbought for a while, right? It had no choice but to sell. And then once the cross down happened, look what happened, guys. We get all of this beautiful selling momentum, right? Because price has entered back into our safe zone where we can identify the direction of the market a little bit better. So that's our first cross down example. Now let's look at a cross up example, because we're pretty much going to back test this thing together, get a few examples, get you guys more comfortable with the idea of the cross up or cross down as an entry or exit signal. That's really the gag. It's the entry and exit signal. So right here, I can see that I have the cross up, right, from being oversold, and it got back into our safe zone. And once it crossed up, we can see that we have that beautiful momentum, and all of these pips could have been caught. Now we're just going to keep going back. We're going to go through a few more examples because I want you to get used to being able to identify this, so that even when you're setting up your trade and the market is oversold or overbought at the time, you'll know that you're going to want to wait until you actually get the signal to go. Think about it as if you're driving a car, right? You know that when the cars in front of you start to slow down and their brake lights come on, that means that a red light is approaching. But you're just not going to stop short because the car behind you, right, it might hit you. You're going to want to actually slow down and slow down and slow down. You're gathering all these things. Okay, people are slowing down. They have on their brake lights. The light just came from yellow. That must mean that a red light is coming, right? But just because people start to turn on their brake lights, or just because the light turns yellow, you don't just want to abruptly stop. You want to wait for that red light, right? And then you actually want to stop. And it's the same thing when it comes to trading. You'll have all of these confirmations telling you what's going to happen, but until you get the signal, you want to wait. So here's another example of a cross down on the stochastic. We can see the stochastic has crossed down, right, back into our safe zone. And again, we actually get that sale, right? So it's helpful to be able to recognize when these things are going to happen, right? It's helpful to know when these things are going to happen, right? And just as I'm scrolling back, you guys should be able to identify other examples like here, right? We have here, we have a cross down, we have our selling momentum, right? So I'm going to try to find an example as to why you don't want to do this prematurely, and we'll try to watch it back on replay mode. But this is just meant to be a quick video to show you something that you can look for that can help improve the quality of your trade. So here's another example. We have the cross up, and then look at that, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful upward momentum. So let me just try to find a quick example as to why you don't want to do this prematurely, and then we will pack it up for today, guys. We're going to pack it up. So I need to find a place where the market was either overbought or oversold. All right, this is actually the perfect example. So let me grab a vertical line and we're going to place it right there, right? We're going to place it right there. And we also going to put this thing in replay mode. So let's just say we came into the market at this time. Can I move it forward a little bit? Let's see. I'm just trying to move it forward just a little bit. All right, y'all. So this is perfect, right? We can see right here, down here, the market has moved officially into our danger zone. It's moved into the oversold area, which means that it's going to buy soon. Now, some people would buy right away. They might even get into a buy on that candle. But what you're going to notice, and as we can see, the market continued, right? It actually continued to drop. If we would have gotten to a buy here, right, and we didn't have an appropriate stop loss, because the next candle, right, this candle literally pushed down, we could have gotten stopped out of this trade simply because the market was still oversold and not ready to buy. Now let's actually see what happens once the stochastic crosses back up into our safe zone. Yep, not quite. Look, guys, I told you it could be oversold for some time, right? Still selling. Still selling. And this is the hour time frame. So this has been going on for 4 hours. Somebody would have been stressed, right? Look what happens. We waited for the cross up back into the safe zone. Market takes off. Now, when I unpause this thing, we should see the market continue to take off and go up. All right. So that's what we got. Directly after that move, we got the push up, and then we can see that the market is going back down. So I'll just give you guys one more example of the cross up or the cross down on the stochastic so that you know what to look for and that you can maximize your trades, right? Because we are here to make money. We're not here to lose money. All right, so here's another great example. We waited until the market crossed up, right? Back into the safe zone, and then look at all these beautiful green candles, beautiful pips. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we'll do one more sell example. And then that'll be all for today. If you find this video helpful or you really learned something today, just go ahead and tell me if this was eye-opening or if it changed something for you. So here's another sell example. We do have our other confirmations for the sell. We have the candle falling below the EMA. We have the MOM facing down and below zero. And then we have the orange above the blue and our favorite all-time entry signal, the stochastic, crossing back down into the safe zone. All of these beautiful pips are caught. And I can't leave without pointing out this example right next to it. Cross back up into the safe zone, went back up. Look at this, y'all. It just keeps happening. Cross back down, went back down. Cross back up, went back up. So I really hope that this video was helpful, but that's all for now. Until next time, rich friends.